Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your cannabis business podcast. Back on the line with us is Katrina Glogowski, an angel investor and attorney in Seattle. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Happy holidays, Josh.
Happy holidays. And in fact, we're going to talk about some new products, some new things. According to this Benzinga article, new cannabis products, there's a blunt club, cannabis wine, and affordable CBD, and that infused gravy you guys are going to need before you visit your in-laws. So starting off with Lobo's Blunt of the Month Club. This kind of looks interesting. It's a lifestyle brand. They have a Blunt of the Month Club packaged in 10 flagship blunts, each containing 2.8 grams of cannabis, infused with concentrates, live resin, and hand-rolled in a hemp wrapper with glass tips, all delivered directly to the consumer's doorsteps in California. I think it's time to move to Cali.
I know somebody who would like the Blunt of a Month Club.
Yes, ma'am. That looks like fun. So New Year's, you see a lot of automation at MJ BizCon, a lot of pre-roll, fully automated. They twist the tops, they fill it, they weigh it, all of that. And so blunts and cylindrical joints are probably right around the corner, but that is for another podcast. Look at this sparkling rosé, Viv and Oaks. Kind of looks like a dipping sauce, but apparently this is a sparkling rosé drink. It's a blend of California grapes. Both high and low dose styles are available. Alcohol is removed from the wine before blending CBD and THC, resulting in a full flavor with only 24 calories and 4 grams of sugar. Available at dispensaries throughout California, direct to consumer via Big Moon Sky, and distributed statewide by Pacific Expeditors. So I don't know. What's your take on wineless cannabis drinks? I mean, alcoholless cannabis drinks.
Well, Oregon just banned CBD infused alcoholic beverages. So I do think that the trend of the regulators is not to mix. But as a consumer, why would I want alcohol-free wine? Isn't that called juice?
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's grape juice that tastes more like an adult grape juice, but I'm not really sure the whole alcoholless cannabis craze is kind of like, let's just throw CBD and THC into everything. Pillows and activewear, like, pants are a little bit too much to have CBD infused.
Yeah.
Athletic wear and pillows, and I think this is more or less just the same kind of thing. I mean, if you want alcohol, drink alcohol. You're not going to have a alcoholless beer with CBD. I mean, I think the market share on that is really low. Just don't think that's what people are looking for.
I agree. This might be a novelty for the holiday, but unless it is tasty goodness, people aren't coming back.
Yeah, one and done on that one. So here's a Canna River's new line of CBD tincture. They launched a full and broad spectrum of affordable CBD tinctures for humans and pets, gel caps, body lotions, and pre-rolls. I mean, affordable or not, I think that price is probably a serious consideration. Everyone's always asking for the highest percentage at the lowest price. But right now, what we're seeing is a huge shift towards trusted brands. And so that's really where branding is going to come out from in the next couple of years, is through who is your trusted, reliable source. It's not really about price yet. They're a few years ahead of themselves on price-driven consumer behavior. Right now, the industry is all about trust. And if they don't trust your brand, it doesn't matter what price it is. And in fact, I would put an inverse relationship on cheap products and say I would steer clear from them just based on being the lowest price. You have to consider, is this coming from China with heavy metals in there? Why is it so cheap?
I think that CBD products are expensive, especially for a chronic user, say arthritis, who's going to be using this product several times a day for an extended period of time. Not that that's medical advice, but that's a possible use for CBD. I do think price is a concern, but Josh, right now, I'd pay twice if it was from a GMP lab. I share the overarching concern about quality versus price. But if Canna River can combine quality and price, maybe they have something here.
Hmm. Definitely. I just think they're a couple years ahead of themselves. I don't believe that people are looking for the cheapest product yet, especially the soccer mom. She's going to be looking for something that's quality, reliable, safe. Um,
Absolutely.
and maybe that's gravy. Maybe all of that is a wholesome gravy, like you go to your in-laws, no one's gonna know. They ask you, hey, would you like some gravy? And you're like, no, I have my own. And they're like, what?
I brought my own gravy, Mom.
Weirder things have happened, I'm sure, but
I,
Kiva has this infused gravy, fast acting.
good on them. Good on them. This is probably tasty and delicious, but unless you're going to dose the entire family, including children, which is highly not recommended, how are you going to have a gravy that nobody else has at the table, or separate the gravy from infused and not? Or maybe you're going to be home alone and eat the whole package. Uh, Interesting concept, Josh. Interesting concept. Infused gravy. I've seen it all.
I'm into it. So I was at the store the other day and I saw infused sriracha and infused noodles. And since Seattle just had a record rainy day, what that means is 3 inches in 18 hours, breaking the previous record of 1.8 inches. So, yeah, Seattle just had the rainiest day or several days on record. And so maybe sriracha and noodles are a good combo. But I'm thinking that this infused gravy is kind of fun, although it's only 10 milligrams.
I'd go for the sriracha first.
Probably, gravy is kind of a little unique thing. It's only 10 milligrams. If you want to, 10 times that amount, then you're talking some fun.
Yeah.
So there are some other products that we've seen. We just got back from Vegas, and so going back to this other Lobo lifestyle blunt brand, there's some products that we've both seen in the marketplace that are both fun and unique and available. And so one of those is called the Power Hitter. So this Power Hitter is from, it's not unique, it's not new, it's kind of from the 70s actually. And so you have this little carb on the back here, and what you do with the Power Hitter is you put in your pre-roll, and it has to be a cone because I don't know, I roll huge joints, I guess, by comparison. This is a teeny little hole, so I think that's really only made for cones. You light your cone, you stick your pre-roll into the container, this I don't know what you call this little device thing for the radio. For people who can't see this, it's basically a plastic, not box, but
Josh, it reminds me of those oxygen things when there's an emergency. It's like a bladder. You squeeze it.
right. Squeeze it in
I,
your face.
yeah. You squeeze it in your face.
Yeah, and so the joint will light in there, and then you just kind of squeeze it. You hold it to your mouth, and then it streams straight into there. And what I found is there's a lot of waste in pre-rolls because I can generally take an entire pre-roll by myself. Using the Power Hitter, what you'll find is you're sitting there going like, wow, I wish I had somebody to pass this to. Because you don't really want to smoke the whole thing. It's a lot.
Well,
But it's fun.
I'm going to say yes. For a consumer who is looking to enjoy their entire joint, because of course it burns as you chat about the Buffalo Bills being in the playoffs. You do have a little bit of waste, and it does prevent waste. But I would highly recommend that you do not do that alone.
Mm-hmm. So joints are a number one seller, but maybe you don't like joints. Maybe you're more about convenience. And so there's the Palm. This Palm is a nice little vaporizer. It fits in the palm of your hand, and you can buy products like this Avitas live resin if you don't want to, if you don't want to have to guess what's inside of your oil. So as a unit, it's kind of compact. It's really nice. And I really like these, although this one didn't work straight out of the box, but this one did. So I guess I'm kind of happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay for either of them, but I would be really upset if I did.
I have to tell you, Josh, that form factor, for those of us who can't see it, it's smaller than a pack of cigarettes. It fits in your hand. It's discreet. I think the if you're going to vape, it's very, very convenient to vape out of that unit. There are many brands. Stick with the brand that you know and love. But the one hint I have for you is some of them are very sensitive to charging of the battery. So use the cable that came with it. Your cell phone cable may or may not fit in it, but use the cable that came with it. Otherwise, you tend to fry the battery. And that may be what happened to you, Josh. Maybe it was manufactured defectively out of the box. But I've had a lot of consumer complaint about the battery itself failing.
Interesting. Well, now you tell me.
Yeah, but it fits in the palm of your hand, hence the palm. Fits in the palm of your hand, very discreet, very small, affordable, very nice. It's not a Da Vinci, but it'll get you there.
So here's another device that fits in the palm of your hand. This is a alternative to a syringe. So this twist dispenser, you can twist with one hand. So if you have arthritis or MS, you can literally just squeeze the RSO out of here. So it kind of looks like a lipstick container or a giant chapstick container. And then on the bottom here is the little metal piece you could put on the top and just straight do a dab with this if you want. Or just eat it with the RSO. So I like this because it doesn't look like a syringe. It's handheld and it's easy to use with just one hand, and you don't have to, press that nasty little syringe thing. It just looks, looks too much like drugs to me.
Yeah, I like that unit, and I like that the person that designed that unit is thinking of their target audience, which is arthritis or someone with some illness, and that's why they're using that product. So they have to be able to open it.
Yeah, available at 420wholesalepack.com. And then I asked a friend who's been in the industry for a long time, and I asked him what was the newest, neatest niche thing at MJ BizCon, and he said the Vape Exhale. So although the Vape Exhale has been around for at least 5 years, if you haven't seen it, then it's new to you. And so if you are a dabber and this device is not for travel yet, they do have the Hanu Stone. But this device I find really kind of cool. So this is a temperature sensitive dial here. So you can turn this on. You put your vape inside of this glass vial. When your unit, kind of like a little volcano, is heated up, you can drop your cartridge in there. And then it has a glass filtration system that you just put on top. And then you can just inhale. It makes a nice clean dab. So if you are a dabber, I would highly recommend taking a look at the Vape Exhale. And so that's one of my favorite products, obviously a go-to when I do dab. I'm not a big dabber, actually. I prefer to smoke, either pre-roll, not really pre-rolls. I don't roll pre-rolls. I roll blunts. That's my guilty pleasure.
Hence the product of the year.
Absolutely. I love that blunt club.
Yep.
I'm a fan.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you here, Josh, as well as our listeners. I'm afraid of dabs. Blowtorch, e-nail, it just I'm gonna set myself on fire. I avoid them, and if the vape exhale is for you, good for you. I'm much more palm kind of person.
Yeah, you kind of want to push a button and just inhale your concentrate oil rather than any other like real device.
Absolutely. I'm not into the ritual of it. I'm not a heavy user by any definition. And the dab rigs, the whole dab culture kind of scares me. But if you're going to do it, vape exhale.
Yeah, they are an interesting breed. In Oregon, there's the Northwest Cannabis Club, and on Monday nights was industry night. And a lot of the glass heads would go in there with $1,000 plus pieces of glass, and it's a whole new culture. And they have their torches or what their other methods of combustion. And it's definitely interesting. I used to work when I was in corporate America with a couple sneakerheads, and I never before met a guy who had 100 pairs of shoes, all of them in plastic or glass cases. And it's a very unique group of individuals that are sneakerheads. I would compare that to the culture of dabs because the intricacies, the rituals, just hoarding their pieces and having stuff in cases that they never use. It's just a different genre of somebody who just wants to wear shoes and go and be active. It's kind of me. I just kind of smoke my thing, I go and I'm gone. I don't really get involved in the ritual necessarily. I'm looking for the end result. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a medical mentality or just I'm just not into it. I don't really know. I haven't really analyzed why.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm lazy. I want ease of use. I want ease of use, period.
Yeah, I guess I just have broken too many glass pieces and I have PTSD from spending too much. In fact, I just broke my bubbler and I haven't even repurchased one. I want to. I like smoking out of a bubbler, but it kills me to have to spend several $100s on a really nice piece that could break. So, not to say that the power hitter is the solution, but there's a happy medium there.
But you can drop the power hitter on the floor and not worry about it.
Yeah, although if the pre-roll does fall out of this thing, it's really hard to get back out because as you can see, it doesn't really make it easy. It kind of can fall on the sides here, and you have to shake it to get the pre-roll out. So I mean, it has its issues, but nevertheless, it's kind of a fun little thing. So I'll probably bring that around on 420 and just shove a bunch of pre-rolls in there and hand them around and get a bunch of people high.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So have you seen anything yet in the stores, in the alcohol liquor stores during this time of year? There's a lot of packaging and bundling, and I'm still waiting for the cannabis industry to sort of do the same thing. There's blister packaging where you could put 2 pre-rolls in a lighter and then press that and basically do anything you want, any combination. We haven't seen really that kind of purchase acquisition of equipment to do that yet. But have you seen any sales? Have you gotten any alerts? Is there $30 ounces yet?
I have not seen $30 ounces, but being here in sunny Seattle, Ike's usually has, if you sign up for Uncle Ike's list, they'll have a sale. Ponder usually has some sales. Honestly, in Seattle, the best place to go is thestranger.com, and they have a whole weed section. But just go to your local store, support your local store, wherever it is. They're going to have something for Christmas just to get you through the holidays with Aunt Sally and Uncle Bob. They'll have something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a report from Headset kind of breaking down the holiday sales. There's a big spike right before, especially with drinks and edibles. So people really want to have something that's non-discreet, that's going to last them the entire day so that they can get through their in-laws or whatever the issue is. So it'll be interesting to see if that prediction or the, not even prediction, I guess it's just a trend where we can see the data come in. And piecemeal that together with real life. I'm going to hit some stores today, kind of see what they've got, and then go back after Christmas and see the lull, because there's a dip right afterwards. Everyone's giving gifts, including pre-rolls and concentrates, and then you're full. You don't need to go back for more. We'll have to see what the data says, though.
We'll see. I'll be interested in that data too, Josh.
Likewise. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. I want to thank my guest, Katrina Glogowski, angel investor and attorney in Seattle. Thanks again.
Thanks, Josh.
I am Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. By the way, if you enjoy the content, please show your support with the cushy gesture of $4.20 a month on the Talking Hedges Patreon page. This will kind of help me spread the word. I've been asked to speak all over the world, from Toronto and Colombia, Spain, Miami, all over, Tokyo. But your support's important to me. I haven't monetized the podcast. I want to be as authentic and transparent as possible. I want to avoid conflicts of interest or even the perception of paid opinions. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or pay me on the Talking Hedges Patreon page, or don't, and I'm out.